Hello guys, in this episode you guys will give and will have something very bars back to yourself here. And yes, the topic of today is I just want to talk about the we fighting temptation and we want to win the temptation. Maybe it might be 7 deadly sins and whatever that they call, right? And yes, maybe the follower of Jesus, even you and me, right, have struggling with all of that sin. And I just want to confess that yes, me too, struggling with that. And the main video part of this, I just want to talk about how can we win all of it. And if I tell you that it is possible for you to win all of it, are you gonna believe in me? Yes, I mean, in this video I just want to tell you something that I have learned from my pastor. Again, his name is Johnny. He's the great preacher of the world, and yes, tells us about how do we won the temptation. Is he just explaining in this beautiful way. So just let's think about it with me, okay? So God trying to explain us that sin is not an action, right? Temptation, or maybe they call sin from the enemy, the Satan, right? God just tells us that sin is not an action. Sin is an identity, right? That's why we call ourselves sinner. That's why. And my pastor asked me that time, so I'm gonna ask you, so do you become a sinner after you sin, or are you a sinner and then it makes you sin? And this question I just want to ask you, do you become a sinner after you sin, or you sin because you are a sinner? I'm pretty sure you guys know the answer, right? We sin because we are all a sinner, and we all are fleshly, have the sinful nature, right? And yes, the temptation about we trying to win the temptation, it's just like we try to fight against our own body, which is the nature. And how do we win against that? We are imperfect. We try to be perfect, and my pastor just tell me it's impossible. And how do we overcome temptation? So the only way that we can overcome temptation is by trust in the word of God. Why? Because the word is Jesus, right? The word became flesh and dwelt among us, he said. And yes, if we want to win, to overcome temptation, we have to believe in the one who is a winner already. Just like there's one quote that said, you don't have to fight for victory, but you just fight from victory. And who is the winner? You guys know the answer. God, right? And if you know that God already won the fight, so why do we try to fight for victory, right? And if we truly believe in his victory seed that he has given us already, we don't have to fight this, right? When temptation comes, maybe enemy trying to it will comes in the form of the thoughts, trying to whispering to us. And the beautiful thing that I've got from my teacher is he's telling me that we don't have to take responsibility of every thought that comes in our mind, because not every thought deserves your attention, right? Maybe the enemy trying to whispering through you, but you don't have, you can hear it, but you don't have to trust it, right? And after you can be discerned about your own thoughts, bring every thought captive and bring it to the obedience of Christ, right? Means that when you have the thought, you have to be aware of every single thought that comes. And after you practice how to be aware more enough, what happened after that? You can replace every single thought with the word of God. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Bring it to the word of God, and when you can replace it day by day, you'll be free by it. because the truth will set you free, Jesus said, right? And yes, you don't have to try to fight temptation to win, but God has won the temptation already. That's why He has overcome death. That's why He is a winner. We can only receive and believe in His power. And after you believe, you don't have to fight it. And you just know, oh, temptation comes. Not today, Satan. I'm going to believe in the grace of God. It's so simple, right? But yeah, sometimes the enemy trying to make us feel like it's almost impossible. It's to make us feel real. But the heart is deceitful. Feelings change. We don't have to lean on that, but we can lean on the word, on faith. And after we have received these beautiful revelations, I'm pretty sure you guys will experience true freedom and peace from the word of God, because the only thing that we can get from God is peace. It's not chaos, it's not confusion. Sometimes we're facing hard times, yes, sure, but God promised us to always be there for us, and He will be our refuge and rest. Come to me, all you who are labor and heavy laden, I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Yes, for the battle is not yours, but it is God's to fight. He will fight for you, and the only thing you can do is to be still and trust in Him. Yes, to overcome everything is to believe on the one who has already overcome everything, which is Jesus. Everything tied back to His name always. And if you guys want to win the temptation, just believe in His word that sin shall not have dominion over you, for you are not under the law, but under grace. Beautiful, right? Because grace can only come from God, and after you receive that, you cannot lose that. You can only believe and trust all the time. Yes, for this video might be enough. I hope you guys get something beautiful back to yourself. And if you guys want to follow, please subscribe. This 19 years old kid trying to follow God's wisdom. Yes, see you around. Thank you for watching.